A farmer once lived at the edge of a valley where the wind never stopped moving. It bent the grass, it scattered seeds, it pushed clouds across the sky and made the wheat bow low before standing tall again. The farmer hated it. Every morning he woke to find his gate unlatched, his tools knocked over, his carefully stacked wood blown apart. He spent hours rebuilding what the wind had undone. One day he decided, enough. I will stop this, he said. He began to tie things down. He roped the gate with thick cord. He hammered nails through his shutters. He lashed the wood into tight bundles and secured them with iron chains. He even tied a rope around the trunk of the young tree near his door, anchoring it to a post so it would not sway. For the first time in years, nothing moved. His gate stayed shut. His tools stayed upright. The wood stayed stacked. He stood in his yard and smiled. Now, he said, everything is as it should be. The wind still blew, but it no longer touched his things. He had won. Days passed, then weeks. The farmer worked harder than before. Every evening he walked the perimeter of his land, checking each knot, each nail, each rope. If a cord loosened, he tightened it. If a board shifted, he hammered it back into place. He could not rest until everything was secure. At night, he lay awake, listening. He heard the wind rattling the edges of his roof. He heard a distant creak from the barn. He rose from bed and went outside with a lantern, inspecting, adjusting, tying. I cannot let anything slip, he told himself. One morning, a neighbor stopped by. She was an older woman who lived down the road. She had come to borrow a sack of grain. She walked into his yard and stopped. "What happened here?" she asked. The farmer looked around, confused. "What do you mean?" She pointed to the tree. The young tree near his door, the one he had tied to the post, had not grown. Its branches were thin, its leaves were pale and curling at the edges. The rope had cut into the bark, leaving a deep scar. "You tied it too tight," she said. The farmer frowned. "I tied it so the wind would not break it." "The wind does not break trees," she said quietly. "It teaches them how to grow strong." She looked at him for a long moment, then walked to the barn to collect the grain. The farmer stood alone in the yard. He looked at the tree, then at the gate, bolted and still. Then at the wood, lashed so tight the cords had started to fray. He realized he had not sat in the sun in weeks. He had not spoken to anyone except to explain why he could not visit. He had not slept a full night since he began his work. He had stopped the wind from moving his things, but he had not stopped moving. Every thought was a knot to check. Every sound was a problem to fix. Every moment was a test to see if his control was still holding. He was more tired now than he had ever been when the wind blew freely. That evening, the neighbor returned with the grain sack. She set it by the door and looked at him. "You know," she said, "my husband was like you. He could not stand disorder. He tied the vines in his garden so they would not grow crooked. He locked the chickens in cages so they would not wander. He built walls around everything he loved." She paused. "And then, one summer, he got sick. Too tired to keep fixing, too tired to keep watching. And you know what happened?" The farmer shook his head. "Nothing," she said. "The vines grew wild, but they gave us grapes. The chickens roamed, but they came back every evening. The walls cracked, but the garden still bloomed." She looked at him with something close to pity. He spent his whole life trying to stop things from changing, and in the end, the only thing that broke was him. She left. The farmer sat down on the step of his house. He looked at the ropes, the chains, the nails, the tightness of it all. He thought about the tree, strangled by his care. He thought about the neighbor's husband, worn down by his own hands. He thought about himself, awake at night, afraid of a sound, afraid of a shift, afraid of anything that moved without his permission. And for the first time, he asked himself a question he had never asked before. What if I let go? The next morning, he untied the tree. The rope had cut deep and the bark was scarred, but the tree was still alive. He pulled away the post and let the trunk stand on its own. It swayed in the wind. He waited for it to snap, but it did not. Then he untied the gate. He removed the nails from the shutters. He loosened the cords around the wood. Piece by piece, he undid what he had built. And when he was finished, he sat on the step again and waited. The wind came. It pushed the gate open. It rattled the shutters. It scattered a few pieces of wood across the yard. And the farmer did nothing. He sat. He watched. He breathed. The gate swung in the breeze, but it did not break. The shutters clattered, but they stayed on their hinges. The wood rolled, but it did not disappear. And the tree, free from the rope, bent in the wind and stood tall again. The farmer felt something strange in his chest. It was not relief, not yet. It was space. A quiet space where there had been noise. A stillness where there had been constant motion. A moment where he did not need to act. He realized something then, sitting in the wind. He had been so afraid of losing control that he had forgotten what it felt like to simply be. He had tied everything down to keep it safe, but in doing so, he had made a prison. Not for his things, for himself. The wind did not care about his ropes. The world did not care about his plans, but he had cared so much that he had stopped living. The farmer stood up. He walked into the valley where the wind moved freely, where the grass bent and rose, where nothing stayed the same for long. And for the first time in years, he did not try to hold on. He just walked. There is a kind of fear that disguises itself as protection. You think you are keeping things safe, but what you are really doing is keeping yourself tense. You hold tighter and tighter, believing that if you let go, everything will fall apart. But the truth is simpler than that. The things worth keeping do not need to be tied down. And the strength you are looking for does not come from control. It comes from learning when to bend, when to let the wind pass through, when to trust that you will still be standing when it is done. Sometimes we all need permission to let go. If you needed to hear this today, leave a comment saying, "I'm ready to loosen my grip."